Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're tackling an absolutely urgent, honestly, kind of existential economic problem. We're going to be looking at Michael Saylor's profound observations on our modern economic system, Bitcoin, and really the whole future of digital assets. If you are eager to understand the underlying logic of how wealth actually moves in this world, and I mean really moves, this is going to open your eyes. Ready? Let's go.
So, why is it that relying solely on hard work and applying your talent to build wealth feels, well, increasingly impossible today? Do you ever get that feeling that no matter how many extra hours you put in, your purchasing power just absolutely cannot keep up with skyrocketing prices? Well, it's not in your head, it is a structural reality. To understand why the value of our hard earned labor is essentially being drained right out from under us, we have to take a quick look back at history.
All right, Section 1, a history of currency debasement. If you flip through literally 50,000 pages of human history, looking at key historical nodes, from ancient Babylon to the Roman Empire to the post-World War I Weimar Republic, all the way up to our modern fiat currency system, one thing never changes. Almost every state or nation eventually hits a massive debt crisis. And when they overborrow, they basically face two choices. They either outright default, or they just print money to dilute its value. As Michael Saylor points out, this is not some random economic accident, it is a systemic inevitability. Currency debasement has pretty much always been the historical norm. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what if I just hold the strongest currency in the world? Problem solved, right? Here's the cruel reality. Even if you hold a Tier 1 currency, something generally deemed safe like the US dollar, it's still stealthily losing about 7% of its value every single year against scarce assets. It is literally like trying to carry water in a leaky bucket. Your wealth is just draining away. And if you live in a developing nation dealing with Tier 2 or Tier 3 currencies, you're facing severe economic stagnation, or in some cases, total systemic collapse. In a system designed this way, simply holding cash is basically a guaranteed risk. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we shift gears. Section 2, the labor value crisis. Saylor presents a massive existential warning here. It is not just your money losing value. The value of your actual human labor is being demonetized. We used to think machines only threatened blue-collar jobs, and yes, physical labor will largely be automated by robots within the next 10 years. But actually, scratch that. Look at white-collar jobs right now. You might have spent 20 years in higher education mastering law or writing or complex data analysis. But today, artificial intelligence can write a Shakespeare-level script or process thousands of pages of dense legal documents in seconds. When a machine's marginal cost approaches zero, those lifelong skills you've built are ruthlessly compressed in the market. Imagine working relentlessly your entire life just to earn glass beads, fiat currency that someone else can manufacture infinitely at the push of a button. Meanwhile, the people who control capital hold a strictly limited supply of gold. No matter how hard you work to collect those beads, as long as the machine keeps printing them, you are destined to get poorer. Relying solely on your labor to earn an infinitely printable currency in a constantly inflating system, it's a rigged game, plain and simple. So what do? Section 3, the search for scarce assets. So if cash is melting away and labor is being heavily eroded by AI, where can we safely park our wealth for centuries? The answer lies in finding what Saylor calls scarce, desirable property. Now, this isn't just about picking a good stock. This is about finding the ultimate financial safe haven. It's the only true defense against long-term currency debasement. For a property to truly protect you, it has to be something everybody deeply desires yet is absolutely limited in supply. If we look back to, say, the year 1600, the wealth that actually survived until today wasn't currency or horse-drawn carriages. It was prime real estate in central London or cultural capital like fine art and, later on, things like the Beatles' copyrights. But traditional assets have fatal flaws. London real estate definitely holds value, but it's completely immobile. It is locked to geography, which means it comes with heavy property taxes, massive maintenance costs, and political risks like rent control. Plus, it's a highly gate-kept game that regular people simply can't play.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 4, digital gold.
To solve the immobility of physical real estate, we have to look at the highest form of capital ever discovered. And Saylor uses a brilliant metaphor here. He compares Bitcoin to the mathematical Arabic numerals of finance. Think about it. Arabic numerals weren't the first number system in history. We had Roman numerals and other super clunky systems before them. But why did Arabic numerals replace everything else globally? Because they were stable, rational, and ruthlessly efficient.
In the financial world, when a superior, universal, and rational system appears, it inevitably replaces the outdated, inefficient ones.
And this brilliantly illustrates another core concept, the digital battery. When we work, we burn our time and our life to generate energy. Animals store that energy as fat. Human society stores it as capital. Bitcoin acts as a digital battery with perfect mathematical integrity and zero leakage. You take the energy generated by your hard labor, you store it inside this protocol, and it will never drain away due to inflation or arbitrary human intervention.
Bitcoin holds an overwhelming thermodynamic advantage. Historically, we used gold as a safe haven, right? But gold is incredibly heavy, it's slow to move, and it's expensive to verify. Bitcoin is completely different. It allows you to transfer $10 billion of value literally anywhere on Earth in an hour, with near zero friction. It is an immutable pillar of truth running purely on math and cryptography, requiring zero trust in any central bank, corporation, or government.
This brings about the ultimate democratization of wealth. Let's contrast the old world with the new world for a second. In the old world, a regular person couldn't exactly just walk into a bank and demand a £100 million loan to buy a commercial building in London to hedge against inflation. No way. That door was permanently closed to you. But in the new world, Bitcoin is radically portable and universally accessible. You can pull out your smartphone right now and with just $87, instantly buy a fraction of Bitcoin. You immediately get to enjoy the exact same property rights protection as the world's wealthiest billionaires.
So, the crucial point is, Section 5, your ultimate choice. What does this all mean for storing your personal life energy? Saylor paints a really profound vision here. Bitcoin doesn't exist to destroy the current financial system. It exists to provide an exit from it. It's a borderless, viral bank running in cyberspace. In a world full of geopolitical conflict, mutual distrust, and policy turmoil, physical land traps you. But with digital capital, if you just memorize a seed phrase, you can literally take your entire life's labor anywhere in the world that respects the law and treats you well. It grants you ultimate personal freedom. The future competition for wealth isn't just about physical strength or how many hours you work anymore. It's a competition of cognition. It's about which protocol you deliberately choose to align yourself with. So, when you expend your precious time and talent, where exactly will you store your life energy? Will you put it in glass beads endlessly printed by centralized institutions whose value just constantly dilutes? Or will you secure it in unalterable digital gold built on solid math? Think carefully about this choice, because the protocol you choose today will ultimately determine your financial destiny. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we will catch you next time.